Let's have a quick conversation about Kyle Pitts, man. Look, this is a contract year. This is the fifth year option of his deal, so he's likely going to be a free agent. And I found this post on Twitter that says he's going to, garner a big payday. And he has suitors, which is no surprise. Who wouldn't want a guy 6'6", 250, runs a 4.4, 4.5, and has receiver type skills as a tight end? But the thing is, man, with the Falcons, when they get into a bidding war for this guy, I absolutely do not think so. And sometimes it's just best to move on because a fresh start is good for everybody. For the Falcons, he was a number 4 pick, highest drafted tight end of all time. But at the same time, what has he done outside of year one when he had that 1,000 yards, averaging 15 yards a catch, only one touchdown though. Now he has gotten better with touchdown catches over the last 3 years. But this year, he's fallen back into that same funk as being a guy that's unreliable, a guy that doesn't come up big when you need him to. 56 catches for 541 yards, under 10 yards a catch, one touchdown. And his longest reception is only 26 yards. So when you talk about big playability, of course he has big playability. Of course he's had problems, with keeping a consistent quarterback. But at some point, you got to take responsibility and work on your craft the best you can to make you the better version of yourself, no matter who's the signal caller. Because guess what? Guys like Andre Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, yes, they're wide receivers, but my point is, when you have that it factor, it doesn't matter who's throwing you the football. And sometimes he just doesn't show me that he can be an elite tight end. Now, as far as him garnering attention, of course, he's going to do that. But at the same time, you got to think too, what's he going to cost? And bidding wars across the NFL have been crazy the last couple of years. He's at I'd say about $13 million this year on his fifth year option. So he's probably going to be expecting a pay raise. And if you franchise tag him, last year tight ends were about $14 million. That's a little bit more than what he's making right now. And this year, that means that the franchise tag is going to go up to about $16 million. So would you give Kyle Pitts $16 million by him being an unreliable target, a guy that's sometimes half-stepping? I don't think so. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not all his fault because sometimes the offensive coordinator got to scheme around a guy like this. Bijan is their top guy. Bijan is going to be their number one worry when it comes to targets and touches and all that good stuff. So, can Kyle Pitts develop into a better tight end? In the right system, I absolutely think so. But let's see who this bidding war starts with, and I absolutely do not believe it's the Falcons. 3 teams I can give you, and Kansas City has always been my number one. Why? Travis Kelce is over the hill. Patrick Mahomes is going to need another tight end, a big target. And you look at Rashee Rice, you look at, what was the other kid name? The other receiver, Marquise Brown. You look at those 2 guys, Kyle Pitts folds into that. That makes Kansas City even tougher team to beat. You look at, Denver, another AFC West team. Sean Payton loves his tight end. Remember he had Jimmy Graham in New Orleans? Kyle Pitts has that same type of skill set. And last but not least, I can see Arthur Smith if he's still in Pittsburgh. I can see him going to Pittsburgh. If they get a quarterback, yeah, you can bring in a Kyle Pitts. But I think, salary cap going into next year, teams are going to get a raise. But at the same time, would you spend it on a tight end? That's the thing. And tight ends, they getting paid better now. But after that first big contract, that's usually the only one. So where will Kyle Pitts go from here? The numbers are pedestrian this year. Even though his catches are up, his average is down and his touchdowns are down. So if they want to bring him back on a 1 or 2 year deal to avoid the franchise tag, give him a prove-it deal to see if you still want him here after that. But other than that, Kyle Pitts is just going to be Kyle Pitts. But is Kyle Pitts time up in Atlanta? Is it time for a change? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop those comments, man. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always. It's your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.